Hi everyone. Today we are going to understand the basic meaning of learning, and further we are also going to discuss the process of learning in detail. Now let us first understand the meaning of learning. See, we all read so many things in our life, right? We all go through many things in our life. So everything gives us a learning. We learn things. Okay. So what happens from this? After learning certain things in our life, we are able to take wise decisions. Okay. We basically are able to understand the concepts and apply them in a real life. So it is very important to keep on learning new things and things in our life. Okay. Now, what are the factors which are affecting learning? The first one is the social factors. Very right. Whether we talk about our neighbors, our family members, they all influence us so much. They all impact our learning so much that we are basically learning according to what they are saying. Okay, for example, if my parents want me not to learn any kind of western music, okay, I am willing to learn western music, but my parents are not wanting me to learn western music. So here I will not be able to learn that music because of them, right? Then the other one is physical factors. Yes, what is our height, what is our weight, what is the strength. For example, if I am having a good strength, okay, then I will be able to play, or I will be able to do weightlifting, right? So then I will be able to gain certain knowledge, we learn certain things about weightlifting, okay, and we'll also be able to impart that knowledge to others, right? Then there are mental factors also which are affecting our learning. Yes, very right. What is our retention power? How much we can retain after learning? How fast we can grasp things? Okay, what is our cognitive ability? Okay, how quickly we can take decisions. So these are all the factors which can impact our learning. Then also there are environmental factors. What happens in this? Basically our environment also impact our learning. For example, if I'm living in a place where there is a lot of noise pollution, okay, let's say my house is beside a main road, okay, where there's a lot of traffic all the time. Then what will happen? If I'm willing to learn something also, then there will be a lot of noise, so this will impact my learning, right? Now let us discuss the process of learning. See, the first is stimulus. In order to learn something, we have to have a stimulus, that is something which is motivating us to learn, right? To perform certain things. For example, if I am working in, let's say, a bank, financial organization, and if I'm asked to, let's say, open certain bank accounts, and after crossing a limit, I am given an incentive. Okay, so what will be the stimulus in this case? This obviously the reward or the incentive that I will be getting. So in order to learn something, there should be there is basically a there is basically a motivation. Okay, there is basically a goal that is need to be achieved. Okay, for example, if someone tells me to learn the cuisines of various countries and prepare them in their restaurant, okay, then if I have poncho, that is a liking for those products, I will be cooking, I will be learning, okay, because I will be also motivated by the reward, that is the accolades that the people are going to give me. Then response, it is basically the way in which customer reacts to a stimulus, okay, how basically the employee is reacting to your stimulus. Okay, if the person is very happy after he or she hears that after opening certain accounts I will be getting a reward or a incentive, then he or she if is happy, that is the response. Then comes his motivation. Motivation is basically the person is getting motivated and has urge to learn something, learn as much as they can so as to become good at that thing. Okay, so we I believe that we all should always attach our motivation or attach our liking towards the passion for that work rather than the incentive or reward. Okay, we should have a dedication towards the job or towards the thing which we are going to do in our life rather than attaching it to any payment or monetary gain that we are getting. Okay, so motivation basically talks about the person is getting motivated and then he has an urge inside him and he or she learns or becomes good at that thing. Then lastly the reward thing comes. After the person has completed his or a goal, they can get certain rewards. It can be anything. For example, in this case the person can get accolades from the customers. Okay, good incentive can also be a thing, okay, which can make him or her happy, right? So what did we understand today? We basically talked about the concept of meaning, learning, right? So learning is basically understanding or gaining knowledge. Okay, gaining knowledge through any source. We can learn from newspapers, we can learn from our neighbors, we can learn from anyone. Okay, so learning is basically a process of bringing a relative permanent change in our behavior because our knowledge is getting enhanced, we are becoming wiser. Okay, so we should always focus on gaining as much knowledge as we can. Okay, so that we can learn new things and grow wiser. Then we also discussed about the factors affecting learning, like social factors. Yes, very much. Our family members and our neighbors and our relatives, they can all, the community in which we live, they can all impact our learning. Okay, if they are very, let's say, if my family members are very noble enthusiast, that is they are like they like to read novels, then obviously it will impact my learning in that way only. I will also be having a liking for reading novels. Okay, then physical factors, yes, how we look, what our strengths are, we it also impact our learning. Then mental abilities, okay, they also very much impact our learning, right? Our attention power, grasping ability, decision making skills and all. Then we talked about the environmental factors. Yes, our environment also impacts our learning. For example, I am living in a very green clean and green environment where there is ample of fresh air, then obviously it will impact my learning in a positive way, right? Then we further talked about the process of learning, wherein we need to have a stimulus, that is a motivator, to motivate to complete to help to motivate us to complete or achieve that goal. Okay, then we talked about the response. Yes, response is basically how a person responds to a stimulus, right? Then we further talked about motivation. Yes, motivation is the urge to basically complete a work or a goal. Then rewards, yes, it is something that a person gets. People can have a value for rewards in different ways. Some people may have value for incentives and some can have value for the happiness that a person is getting from that job, right? Now let us practice some important questions. Learning is gained through experience, reading, writing, all of the above. Yes, very right, that we can learn from all of these. Okay, we can learn from our what experiences we have gained in our life. Okay, the lessons we have learned. Then the reading, yes, obviously when we read things we learn new things. Then writing, yes, very much. When we write we learn many things. Then right, so this is the answer, option D. Which factor influences a person learning ability by demotivating them to do something? Physical, environmental, social, mental. See, the question is which factor influences a person learning ability by demotivating them to do something? See, who can demotivate us? Obviously, our society, our neighbor, physical, our strength cannot motivate, our height, our weight cannot motivate or demotivate us, or our environment can also not do so. But our society can very much do so. Our neighbors, our community in which we live, our family members, they can. So the correct answer would be social, right? So this was all for today. Thank you so much for your time.